We have the New York Knicks going up against the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons scathing off elimination last night, winning the game 106-103 in the battle between two cities that are prideful. Kudos to the Detroit Pistons, first of all. Cade Cunningham didn't have it going in the first half, only had 4 points. Finished the game with 24 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and just showing that fight of Detroit. His guys kept him in it. Asor Thompson came in and had 10 points in the third quarter and just kept his team in it, battling, defending Jalen Brunson, holding him to one of his worst games, 16 points only on the night for Jalen Brunson. Just kudos for Detroit because they just hung in there, skating off elimination. Inexperienced team, undermanned team, already without Jaden Ivey for the rest of the season. Losing Isaiah Stewart as well, and just trying to find ways to finish this game. Random guys chipping in this series. Kudos to those guys. And it's really just a question of the Knicks for me in this series because over the course of this series, the New York Knicks have the better team in terms of talent, firepower, offensive firepower. Jalen Brunson scored 30 points in every game besides game 5 last night. 34 points, 37 points, 30 points, and 32 points in the first 4 games. Because of last night, he falls underneath this 30-point average, averaging 29.8 points per game, 8.4 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 10 points. Outside of that game 2 performance, he has been money. 31 points, 27 points, and 17 points respectively in the last couple games. But this is just Detroit finding a way to claw and scratch in this series. You can argue that they should have been up in a couple of series, and they should be up in the series if you're asking me. And outside of a 21-point run in game 1 to end game 1 for the New York Knicks, that 21-point run in the fourth quarter that they had with 8 minutes to go, Detroit has been the better team. In each of these games besides one, I believe it's game 3, the only game 3 that they weren't up in that game. They were up in game 1 at 8, I believe, but at 8 in the fourth quarter. I believe they were up 8 in the game 2 game that they won. They've been up in this series 4 out of the 5 games entering the fourth quarter. So looking at it from that standpoint, Cade Cunningham playing great. Tobias Harris giving his all out there. This is the best I've ever seen Tobias Harris play. Scoring the ball, shooting the ball really well, playing defense, getting a couple block shots last night. Trying to defend Cat. He can't defend Cat, but that's the only option really they have on him as Durant is too slow and not able to cover Cat. But he's trying his best to cover Cat. Dennis Schroeder's been all right. Malik Beasley's been all right. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been all right. But Asor Thompson stepping up last night was big time, especially for Detroit. 7 guys in double figures for Detroit. So they're doing it by committee with Cade leading the charge, of course. And it's just, can the New York Knicks put this team away? That's what it's coming down to, man, because Detroit has been fighting even down, despite being down 3-1 now and down 3-2. Looking at what this team has been able to do, you're looking at the fatigue of a guy like Jalen Brunson. You're looking at the fatigue of a guy like Karl Anthony Towns. I believe those guys are close to 40 minutes a night so far in this series, let alone what they've already been doing the regular season. And I don't know, man. Detroit just seems to just be right there. They don't have the offensive power. They're inexperienced. They don't have that experience there to get them through those late game situations. But they've been right there throughout this whole series. Cade got a good look at the end of regulation game 4 to try to take that game. But overall, we all know about the foul in game 4 and stuff like that on Tim Hardaway Jr. That should have been called. That wasn't. But looking at it from the standpoint where Detroit is, they got to be feeling good. Like, yo, we can go into New York at least. We went to New York and got 2 games. Yes, New York went on our floor as well, but we're going home. And all we have to do is get right to force it to game 7. Game 6 is Thursday, which will be a tough game for the New York Knicks if they lose that game. Because all those questions during the regular season start to come in, especially about Tibbs, people who have not liked his rotations for his whole career, essentially, leading heavily on the starters. It's just tough, man. And if they lose game 6, and have a bad performance going into Game 7. Detroit has all the momentum. Detroit has won there twice now. New York has to win Game 6, and I know that's crazy with people saying you have home court advantage and all that stuff, but Detroit has their number. I think they have played really, really well. They could be up in this series, and there's just a couple plays that they can lean on and be like, "Hey, we got this team," and we'll see what happens, man. Because this Detroit team is fighting for everything. They have multiple guys that they play that they can go after and try to go after it, and on the offensive end. But we're going to see, man. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for New York, man. They got to take care of business in Game 6 because I do not want to come back to Game 7, especially if you're a New York Knicks fan. Coming back to the Garden, I know you guys feel like you have the advantage, but I don't think you guys have the advantage. I do not think you guys have the advantage in that one. Let's